Hi guys, Saki winner, Command & Conquer, Red Alert video. In this video I'm doing a troll game on the map Rivers Wild. I'm standing in the top right position, playing as the Soviets. So I'm not right in the top right, but I am near the top right of the map. And this game was played a day after the game I showed in my last video. And there's going to be spoilers here, so if you haven't watched it already, watch the last video first. Or see the results anyway, but I was pretty annoyed with myself because I played on Arena Valley Extreme and it was a long match. It was like 50 minutes long and I got into like a good position by the end of it and it looked like I was going to win, but then I made some stupid mistakes and lost it. It was against, I was really annoyed with myself over that game. It was against Mo, who's a really good player, plays a lot of quick match and is like a similar rank to myself. Anyway, this was the day after and I was doing a troll game, so I wasn't playing under my usual Zachary Reaper name, I was playing under another name and Mo joined back, so I thought it was like a bit ironic and it was a chance to redeem myself. So this is just going to be like basic tactics, it's going to be no tanks. The thing is here, no vehicles by that, so I'm not going to be able to build V2 rockets either. And there's actually quite a tough lineup here, because we've got Mo, who's playing this game, and he's ranked around, I think it's just over rank 50. He's just like a bit ahead of me in quick match at the moment. There's also someone called Vomit Bag, and he's ranked in the top 200, so it's quite like a good lineup for when I'm playing a troll game, because quite often you have quite new players, because quite often what happens is because people don't know who I am, quite a lot of the regulars who play my games won't play because they see a person they don't know, and sometimes there's quite a lot of players in this game who just like to play the people they know. I guess it's so they don't get smurfs, I guess, which is sort of what I'm doing here, but anyway, what I'm doing, first of all, is I'm getting some MCVs out. That's always important when I'm playing troll games, because I'm going to want that advanced building speed. Now, what you might have noticed is that I did move my MCV down at the start, and the reason is when you play on this map, and there's 6 players, you can see there's someone in the top middle, and there's someone on the top right as well. And I didn't want to be in between those 2 players because that puts me in an absolute terrible position. And I took a risk actually, because I know some people when all players aren't filled, this space is usually free that I'm in now. So I didn't take a big risk by going to this position, but it's definitely paid off. It means I'm not in the middle of the top right and the top middle, because if you're sort of in the middle of 2 players, especially in a troll game, that's just like signing a death warrant, basically. And what I'm going to do now is I'm starting to get those MCVs up, and I'm going to be able to build quite quickly. What I do need to make sure I have, though, which I'm realising there, is that I have the economy to go with it. Because when you're building structures really, really fast, it also uses up a lot of resources, and you need to have a really good economy to use that building speed. So as you can see at the moment, I have a fast building speed, but I don't have the economy quite to match. And they're just zapping one of those yellow infantry that was going to get a bit of scouting in my base. And what I'm going to try and do here is sort of lock Red in. So we'll see if we can do that. And Redu's Vomit Bag is actually one of the top 200 quick match players I was talking about earlier. So we're going to get some Tesla outside his base here. And now the top right, where Vomit Bag is an absolute terrible position to start in, because it's very low on ore. So I'm just going to get 3 Tesla there. Hopefully that'll be enough to hold him at this point, because it's sort of got a bottleneck there. And both of his exits will be sort of bottlenecks, so they will be very annoying for him. And he won't have he'll have access to ore. There's an ore patch in the top right, but it's really inefficient the way you get to it. So yeah, we can see there is his medium tanks, and it looks like he's going to go on the attack now. And yeah, obviously he wants to get rid of me as quickly as possible. So I'm going to get these Tesla out. We'll see how quickly we can get them out. They do good damage against tanks. He is using medium tanks though, and they are more effective against light tanks, but just see we managed to whittle down those forces quite quickly. I'm also getting some Tesla further up again, so if we just get any reinforcements coming past, I'm going to be able to destroy them. We can see those medium tank numbers are starting to drop, and he's just not doing enough damage. And now yellow's coming in, and it looks like he's going to go for the attack on Vomit Bag, so I think that's going to be a red out of the game. So a bit of luck there as well, but I was getting the better of his tanks in the end anyway, so I think that was going to do well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some Tesla around this site in the sort of like middle of the map, because I don't want yellow to be able to use all those resources. So getting a few Tesla out there just to guard that ore patch. And that's one of the big names who's going to be out of the game, I think, so we'll have to wait and see. I think yellow is going to destroy the whole of the base. And now what I'm doing is I'm just building up these defences just to guard ourselves from those yellow light tanks. Now, the Tesla will do especially well against the light tanks, so it's quite a good type of tank to use. We'll have to see, is yellow going to go on the attack? I've got quite a lot of things here. I've done a little bit of a mistake though, getting a large power plant out, just get those Tesla operational. And yeah, you can see now the yellows had to pull back because those Tesla are just too strong. I'm also just building another war factory up here. I'm going to be able to build some more MCVs. I'm also going to need to like get my economy up and running as well. And yeah, you can see I've got quite a decent economy there, but I need to get onto other ore patches. Otherwise, I'm definitely going to run out. So I'm just going to move some MCVs further up so they're not all located around this like middle position. Now, what tends to happen in this game is it's like sort of like the map split into two halves. You've got the right side of the map and the left side of the map. So on our side of the map we've got yellow, myself and red, and then on the other side of the map is the other three players, and it looks like orange is out of the game. So orange being wiped out, the other side of the map, and it actually looks like yellow is going to that side at the moment. So what I'm going to leave is yellow for the moment. And now you can see that red has officially tapped out of the game. I think he just had nothing left, so probably had like a couple of buildings there, and that was it. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to go to the top right position and start using some of those resources that I'll be able to get there. And I'm just leaving yellow for the moment because I saw those yellow tanks going to the left side of the map. So whoever yellow's fighting with, I want them to continue that for the time being. And now we'll get and you'll probably see what I mean about it being in like a bad position, because you can see the ore trucks like have to travel upwards to get to that top right ore patch and go like through like a small bottleneck. So it's really not very efficient at all. Just need to be careful with that ore truck there. You can see it on very low HP. Although it's not going to be like too bad if I lose it, I guess. I'll just get some Tesla up there. Get rid of those light tanks, which are sort of like just hounding my ore truck for the time being. But you can see, as soon as you get some Tesla there, those light tanks soon go down. And just need to make sure I keep up my power. I'm also going to get some one of those airfields, because what I want to do is I want to get some map visibility and see what's going on at the other side of the map, and I can do that using spy plane. But yeah, you can see those Tesla also killing some of those yellow ore trucks. So that yellow ore truck, if it gets closer, it's going to go down. And just getting another ore refinery out there, making sure my economy is as strong as possible. I'm also getting a tech centre down. Now, the tech centre for Soviets isn't as good as the Allied tech centre. The Allied tech centre does give you map visibility because you can get satellite. The Soviet tech centre doesn't do that, but it does allow me to build Tanyas, which could be useful later on in the game, possibly. I don't know yet. And just getting more of those MCVs out. And what I'm doing in the bottom left of the map, you can see an ore truck there. And that's not a mistake. What I'm doing with that ore truck is I'm just doing a little bit of scouting, because I can't use tanks or like V2 rockets, so it'll have to be ore trucks. Infantry can get killed a bit easily. The ore trucks have a bit more HP, so they won't just be zapped by like a pillbox or something, or a Tesla. So you can see now I'm getting a bit of visibility on that left side of the map, and I can see there's more there, plain as green. So he's like getting a bit of a base crawl on there. We can see him spread across the top left, right to the bottom of the left side of the map. So we're going to have to be wary of him because he's going to be in a pretty strong position. He's already, I think it must have been more that wiped Orange out of the game. He's in a very commanding position there and looks like he must have pushed Cyan back. If he's fighting with Cyan at the moment, I don't know. I can't see Cyan on the map. So probably in the bottom middle maybe. But we're getting some more of these MCVs out and that's going to just increase our building speed even more. We are stacking up the ore a little bit, which is going to probably be important because we can see that green has a lot of tanks. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go for an attack on green's base. He's probably been fighting with yellow. It looks like he might be fighting with cyan. So we're going to join in the battle. I've got my construction yard deployed a bit closer to his base. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go for the base crawl. I'm not too worried about yellow at the moment. We can sort of fight that out later. Because I know that green is the biggest threat in the game. Mo, who beat me last game. And now we're going, when I was not playing Troll Gate Tactics. Anyway, let's go for this. We're going to go for the flame towers. The flames and do a little bit of a crawl and they just do great damage against structures. We'll see how much damage we can do here. Going for the ore refineries first of all. And now he's sort of realised and his tanks are coming back and trying to do a bit of an attack on me. So we're just going to see how much damage we can do from this burst crawl. But more tanks coming in. He's got a big mighty force here. And the question is how much damage can I do? Am I going to be able to get far up this map? There just seems to be too many units. It's an overwhelming number. And those forces are pretty strong. And you can just see my turrets being taken out pretty quickly. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to try and get that tech center down. Let's see if that can go down. It looks like it's going to do. And it does go down. And that's going to reduce green's map visibility if he doesn't have another tech center, which I don't think he will at this point in the game. Now I'm trying to get some flame towers at the bottom part of his base. We'll see if we can do that. But those tank numbers are building up. He's like seeing my base like where it is, and now I'm just trying to get as many flame towers as possible. Looks like though the flame tower crawl is going to stop, and you can just see I've lost some of my construction yards. A bit further back. I think that might have been yellow actually who did that, possibly. So now what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to bunker up because I think the green army might be coming my way pretty shortly. So just getting some more power plants. I need to make sure I've got plenty of power because those Tesla coils are going to need to do a lot of work. And thankfully actually yellow's acting as a bit of a shield, so that's going to slow down green a little bit. You can see those, I don't want those Tesla to fight. I want those yellow tanks to be able to fight green. So yeah, but yeah, those are a bit close. I want those yellow tanks to be intact, so just selling a couple of Tesla coil there. But what I need to do is just make sure that my base is pretty secure, and I might go on the base crawl yet again. This time though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the very top left of the map. He's got some forces there, because we can see he's stalled out a little bit there. I can see some yellow tanks coming through though. I need to make sure I'm well defended against them in the bottom part of my base. And you can see the yellow tanks there. I don't know if they're trying to come round the back. I'll just put some Tesla there just for good measure in case they do try like an attack around there. But I think my base is quite well bunkered up at the moment. I've got like the main points of entry all covered. And now hopefully I've got that secured. I can start going on another base crawl to the left side of the map. So we'll see what we can do here. I'm just crawling with those power plants. And I can see that there's, I think green, like most of green's tanks are sort of in the sort of middle part of the maps, and I think yellow's there as well, so green sort of knows that he can't. Oh, and this is going to be bad because my Tesla's offline. I need to get that power up quite quickly, and the Tesla is now online, and the medium tanks are coming in, but I've got an awful lot of Tesla there. I just need to make sure my power's okay, because obviously Tesla takes up a lot of power, and those Tesla coming in. Unfortunately though, there's some heavy medium tanks at the back of this power plant horde, so I'm going to need to sort of get some power Tesla in here. I mean, I've got like a little bit of section which is unprotected. There is an entry point in there. I just need to be very, very careful because, yeah, the power, I need to keep that power on. And you can see that green is losing a lot of tanks and just building power plants around them. I'm also going to build some power plants in the centre of base just to make sure my Tesla can keep on firing, because I've got quite a good mass there, and it's going to take a lot of tanks from green to be able to get through that and destroy it. So just getting plenty of power in there, because we can see that those green tanks are marching through those power plants quite easily. I'm also going to get some Tesla at this sort of like junction here, because you can see a lot of green tanks coming through, and now they're going for that big Tesla mass. I'm just placing some Tesla here just to try and sort of get as many kills as possible, because what I want to do is I want to whittle that green force down of tanks, so when they do come for an attack on my base, they're going to be much lesser in number. The big question here is yeah, I was going to say how big's that army going to be once it gets past those Tesla, and it still seems like green has a sizable army. And the problem is now is attention's going to be diverted, and it's going to be back on me. So the green army is advancing. I'm going to need to try and bunker up my defences, because we saw he was able to take out that massive Tesla mass that I had right next to his base. I've got a good position in a bit further down, but I think he's going to go through this point instead. There is a bit of a bottleneck, and you can see our resources are a bit lower now, so it's going to make it a bit harder for us to be able to fight this green tank mass. Our Tesla is starting to fire, but I wonder, is it going to be enough? Are those Tesla going to be able to destroy those medium tanks? Because there's certainly a lot of them there. You can see the bottleneck's pretty good, but there's more tanks coming through, and there's sort of like some of them are going around the other way. That's to do with tracking, so we'll lose some forces there. But you can see I'm starting to lose Tesla in that position, and it looks like he's going to be able to get through quite a bit. And this is going to be a big problem now, because he's getting into the main part of the base, and I'm going to lose a lot of structures here. And now he's going for the construction yards and war factories. The main buildings, sort of. I mean, the construction yards, if I lose them, I'm going to lose building speed. But at the moment I don't have good building speed, because my economy is not doing too well. Because you can see that ore patch in the middle of the map has dissipated quite, and yeah, so it's not what it used to be. So now those medium tanks going up into the top part of my base. There's more Tesla there, but I'm just trying to defend as much as I can. And I'm just going to send some of my structures now, because I just need to build Tesla as much as possible. I'm trying to build some at the back there, just sort of like in places where they're not going to be destroyed immediately, and they're going to be able to whittle a few tanks. So I'm doing it sort of like at the back of his army, because he's focusing at the front, like destroying the power plants, destroying the tech centre there. So if I put some Tesla just at the back, they'll get like a few kills before his army starts to turn around. And now his army's coming back now on itself, and he's going to go to the other parts of my base. So just trying to get some Tesla out and just trying to do a little bit of damage and protect the main part of my base. Unfortunately, what's happening at the moment though is I'm getting cut off from the ore. And of course, it's ore that I'm in vital need of at the moment. Trying to get a Tesla there, and that army is still quite large. But it's going to be smaller. It's getting smaller all the time. But those ore trucks are now in danger, and those ore refineries in the top right. And it doesn't look like I'm in such a good position. We could also see Cyan there in the bottom middle of the map. It seems like he's got some tanks on the move, and I hope he's not going for my ore truck there, mining the gems at the bottom of the map. Although I have much bigger things to worry about with these green tanks now going into the top right of the base. And it looks like my structures are going to be destroyed there. And that green army is soon going to turn around and return to the main part of my base. And I'm just trying to get an ore refinery here, make sure I've still got one. Although, yeah, I'm just having a bit of a think now. It's not really the prime, my prime requirement at the moment. I'm just selling another couple of buildings just so I can build some more Tesla and just sort of like help defend this point, because that green army is going to be coming back in the not too distant future. You can see that green army there in the top right position, and it seems like green's leaving some tanks there. So I don't know if he's just trying to guard the ore patch now and stop my ore trucks from going to there. But yeah, those green tanks going around there. I'm getting a few kills there with my Tesla. And we'll have to see what he decides to do now. So yeah, you can see those green tanks coming back. And are they going to go for those ore trucks? It does certainly look like it. And he's going to come down my map a little bit. I've got a couple of Tesla there, but that's not going to be enough against those tanks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and draw him back a little bit, because I've got some more Tesla down there. But you can see that green army, it's not what it used to be. It's now been decimated quite a bit. But what I think green is doing, you can see he's sitting on the ore patches. I think he's going to be like building back up at home. And we're just waiting to starve me out of resources. So just having a bit of a look at green's base here. You can see he's got some construction yards. But yeah, it doesn't seem to have like that many things there. And I think he's had a bit of trouble like with building back up, because I think the ore on the left side of the map has sort of run out. So yeah, you can see that ore truck where yellow is. He's obviously trying to get the ore from that ore patch, because he's all ran out on his side of the map. And now he might not have the tank force like to take on yellow or take on cyan, where the other ore patches might be. Because you can see that top middle ore patch is still quite plentiful. And also the ore patch that I was sitting on is actually starting to regrow. And that might just give me a bit of a lifeline. So I can mine some resources. And a nuclear bomb goes off there. I don't think that's probably not more. I think that might be one of the other players doing that. But destroying a couple of large power plants there. And all I need to think about at the moment is how I'm going to get resources. I've got those middle resources there, but it seems like green's just guarding those points. The question is, how much does green actually have left? I'm just going to build some power plants as well, because you can see those yellow tanks may be looking quite aggressive. So just going to make sure I have a few more Tesla there. And you can see now those green tanks are on the move. And I might be able to get some Tesla out here and maybe get a little bit of map ore control. And that's what I mean, it's all about ore control here. I need to be able to get more control of that ore patch. And you can see now green and yellow having a bit of a fight. It's the green medium tanks against the yellow light tanks. And this is playing into my hands, because it means my ore trucks are going to be able to get back onto that ore patch. I'm going to be able to get some Tesla up. I'm going to be able to get some resources in. So sending some ore trucks up there, because that's exactly what I need right at the moment. Just having a look at that paratrooper plane. Looks like I'm going to be okay. I've got like Tesla all over my base, so, and now just getting 3 ore trucks straight to that ore patch, and this might help me quite a bit. I'm also going to get an ore refinery up there behind that Tesla, because it seems like those green tanks have been wiped out. I'm just going to redirect those ore trucks for a bit more efficient mining, and hopefully we're going to be able to start to bulk these defences out once again. So this is giving me a great opportunity here. I'm starting to get more Tesla down. I'm starting to get a bigger stronghold over that ore patch, and when I start getting my economy back in, I'll also be starting to be able to mine from that top right position as well, because it does look like those positions on the map are the only parts where we still have ore. It looks like the rest of the map is quite barren from what I can see at the moment. And I can't see much action from green at all. I don't know whether he's got any access to ore whatsoever. He obviously has some construction yards, but it looks like that big medium tank army just, he probably just went too far into my base. I think what would probably be better is if he took out yellow, he got access to the ore, and then used that to like get more resources while he could still maintain production. But it looks like he might have gone too deep and used up too many tanks to do so. I mean, I did have a lot of Tesla in defense. So that would have obviously hampered him quite a bit. And now you can just see me trying to get across that river part of the map. I'm just trying to find a gap to get through. With these, it doesn't look like I might not be able to get through that point, unfortunately. But what I want to do is I want to use those resources in the top right. So I'm just going to build a ore refinery. Just getting that green infantry guy, I need to get him out of the way, and those 2 infantry I've got of myself. So he's out of the way, going to move them to the top. And what I'll probably do here is I can clear some of that ore, I guess, and then I'll be able to sort of crawl over. Anyway, just having a bit of a look here. We can still see that yellow has some of those light tanks coming out. As I say, light tanks is probably a good thing to see, because my Tesla will do especially well against them. It's the medium tanks are a little bit harder because the Tesla isn't as effective because they have a bit more HP. And Tesla do great damage. But yeah, the medium tanks just hold up a little bit better. And we can see those green tanks still in the top right position. But as my economy improves, I'll be able to get more. And I'm now sending a Tanya across to green. We're going to see what green's got. Has he built up at all? Or are we going to be able to get some good kills here? Getting the large power plant down. Also that thing down. And yeah, you can see he's got some infantry. And those infantry killing my Tanya there on that part of the map. But I don't see any tanks there, which is quite promising anyway. So we'll just start crawling across. And now we can see there's Cyan. He's on a little bit of a charge. He's got some tanks there, but they're not going to be enough to worry me at the moment because I do have some good defences. And you can just see that all being used up just to the left of my base, and that'll just allow me to crawl over the gap and get into that top part and start getting an ore refinery deployed there. But right at the moment, I'm just building some more Tanyas, and I'm going to go back to the left side of the map. We can see I think I saw an MCV there going up, so I don't know if that was from green or maybe another player. We'll have to find out. But it looks like Cyan is now becoming more active in the game. I think that, like before, Cyan was probably getting hounded by green. But now that green's out of the game, it's allowed Cyan to get a bit more of a foothold. And what we're going to do now is we're going to try and take out some of these green tanks. We'll have to see, is more going to notice it? Or are we going to be able to get those tanks down? It looks like some of them going down right now. And if we kill quite a few of them and get these Tesla numbers built up, it's going to make it very hard for green to come back. Yeah, it looks like we're getting some good kills here. And the question, I think we might have destroyed enough tanks for these Tesla to be okay. I think we have. I think we've got the number of Tesla are going to defeat that number of medium tanks now. And that's going to mean we're going to be able to get some ore refineries back in this top right position and improve our economy a little bit more. Because it's all like a game of economy, this. And once again, we're back in the top right position. We've got our economy sorted there. So I think at the moment what we've got like the top middle position, which is going to be a bit worrying, and we've got yellow there. And they're using ore from that top middle position, so they're going to be a bit of a threat. They're going to be building tanks. We've also got the bottom right, and it seems like they're coming now, and we can see they've got V2 rockets. Now, V2 rockets could be a bit of a problem if I don't have many resources, because V2 rockets do okay against Tesla. They have a little bit better range. Now, the way I usually beat V2 rockets is by building flame towers, because they build very quickly. The issue is if my economy is not good enough, those flame towers won't build fast enough. And the V2 rockets and tanks will be able to destroy them before I'm able to get them in a critical number. And you can see those cyan units are now coming a bit forward. I'm just going to get that Tesla there, destroy that V2 rocket. So that going down, but he's got another one behind. We'll just try and destroy some of those forces. And you can see now he's pulling back. He's also got some mammoth tanks, which do have great HP. And a few moments ago, I did mention that my resources were too low for the flame towers, but you can see my resources are now starting to pick up. My economy looks like it's back online, and I'm going to be able to strengthen up a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to move on the video quite a little bit, because there wasn't much that happened over the next 5 minutes. So I'm just going to forward it on to the next attack. So what we can see is I was able to stack resources, and I've got about 20k of resources now, and I'm going for the attack on the cyan base. So let's see what we can do here. I'm getting some flame towers first, because they've got a V2 rocket. I want to get rid of that. And the flame towers just build pretty fast. Now that I've got those flame towers up, I'm going to build a Tesla just a little bit back, because that's going to do damage while the V2 rockets take some of the hits from those tanks. And now getting some of that Tesla in. He's got Tesla of his own guarding his base, so it's a Tesla v Tesla fight right now. The thing is, what you need to do with Tesla is you need to target it automatically, and he's just realised that because Tesla doesn't fire automatically. and I'm losing some Tesla there. He's also got some mammoths coming from the left side, but they're not in great enough number. He's also got some mammoths coming from the right side as well. So he's got some mammoths strewn out across the map, and he's also got the MiGs coming in also. And that mammoth tank getting the iron curtain, which means it can't take any damage for a certain length of time, and that's going to cause some issues. Because that mammoth tank's not going to take any damage, and he's going to be able to destroy some of those Tesla in the meantime. But it only lasts for a certain length of time, so let's just hope it... Yeah, now it's lost that thing, but it's been able to destroy 2 Tesla. So that's been a little bit of an issue. But at least that other Tesla's okay now, and we'll be able to take out those infantry quite quickly. I've just built a barracks to create some rocket men, just to try and take out those MiGs as they're doing a bit of damage to my structures. Like 3 MiGs I think can take out a Tesla or something like that. And now he's got the V2 rockets, which have great range, but as I always do, I'm using flame towers to take out them. And I think the best course of action probably is a flame tower crawl right now. So we're going to try and do that into the base, and what we're going to target first is the power plants, and we're going to try and get those Tesla possibly offline. I might just do a bit of targeting on the Tesla as well, because they are very annoying actually against these flame towers. And I mean, the flame towers don't do terribly against the Tesla, because they can just like go a lot faster, although the Tesla do significantly more damage, and they are especially annoying when you've got V2 rockets working in conjunction with them. So those V2 rockets being a little bit annoying right now, and we can see he's got like a whole line of Tesla in that left side of the base, and that'll probably be where Green was attacking him earlier, so he wanted to get his defences really strong in that area. But now we're trying to take out these power plants, and hopefully we're going to get him low on power, so he's not going to be able to use that Tesla against my flame towers. But we can see V2 rockets flying all over the place, so we're going to have to get deal with them lower down on the map. But if we could just deal with the V2 rockets in isolation and not have to deal with the Tesla, that's going to make things a lot easier. Although it does seem like those Teslas still have some shots left, so he's obviously got a lot of power plants around his base, but eventually we must... he's only going to have a certain amount of power, and I think we must be getting a lot of them down right at the moment, because we've got like flame towers all around his base, firing on about 4 different large power plants. You can see him trying to repair one there, and the repair sign stopped, and what that tells me is that he's low on ore. So if he's low on resources, all these power plants we're destroying, he might not be able to replace. And if he's low on power as well, it's going to be a slow building speed, so it's going to be harder for him to replace power plants as he loses them. And this position isn't looking too bad for myself at the moment. We're just going for those power, continuing. We'll take that service depot out while we're at it, and now going for that other large power plant. And what we'll try and do is we'll try and maybe get, I'm just thinking about the war factories as well, and the construction yard, and make sure we can't build any more structures. But yeah, these flame towers doing great damage, going for more and more power plants. And I think he must be surely low on power right at the moment. We have went through a lot of power plants, we've went through a lot of structures, and it looks like they are getting wiped out. He's got some infantry there going on the attack, but infantry are especially bad against flame towers, unless of course you use rocket troopers. And the reason rocket troopers could be quite decent is because they have long range, so they can outrange the flame towers. So you can sometimes see them used in quick matches to good effect, and now a mammoth tank coming in, but on its own it's not going to do much, and we're being able to take that out. Just building a couple of Tesla in the middle of the base there, just to deal with anything that's going to cause any problems. But yeah, you can just see another power plant coming out there, but that's going to go down pretty quickly. I'm just have to be careful here because I'm getting low on power, so I'm going to need to build some more power plants. And I'm confident enough to now place them in the middle of Cyan's base, because I do have a stronghold here of base defences, and we've managed to take out most of those power plants. We're also going for the construction yard as well, and what that's going to do is going to make sure that he's not going to be able to build any more power plants, so that he's not going to put those Tesla online. And now we're building flame towers across the MiG patch, so those MiGs are going to be out of action, and now you can see those Tesla are able to fire on different parts of the map. And just getting some of these power plants built back up, so it looks like we have that part of the map now all secured.
Construction complete.
And it looks like it's only going to be really yellow who's going to be back into the game. I'm also just doing a bit of a crawl here because I can see a Tesla in the bottom right position. So that probably means that he's got like a little base there. And we can see some of those V2 rockets. And they look to be trying to head towards my base possibly. But they're not going to get... Yeah, there's a little gap there actually. So... he will be able to get through there, but there is a lot of Tesla there. And what I'm going to do, of course, as I always say with V2 rockets, use the flame towers. They build a bit faster, and yeah, those V2 rockets take so long to unload that they can't fire quickly enough. And also, they have really low HP. So whereas a flame tower doesn't do good damage against tanks, it does do good damage if you put them against V2 rockets. And now we're going to go on the base crawl once again. We can see some power plants in this bottom right position, so we're going to go for them first just to make sure those Tesla stay offline, because I think he might be selling some of his main base now just to make enough power. But yet again, we're able to do this flame tower crawl into his base, and he's got some V2 rockets there, but we're not too worried about them. We're going to be able to crawl forwards. He's going to have a low power now, so he's going to have a slow building speed on those V2 rockets from that war factory, and it looks like we're going to be able to take that out. And now we can see that green is officially out of the game. I can see some yellow dots in that area of the map, so I don't know if yellow took him out, but Moore has been defeated now, so yeah, I guess I've got my revenge on him for the game on Wednesday. And now just destroying the last of Cyan's buildings. They're going to be pretty much destroyed, and we can see that middle ore patch now is starting to become depleted, and that means there's not much ore there, which is bad news for yellow, because what I've just realised is that the ore in the middle of my base has started to become plentiful again because it's had enough time to regenerate. We can see those light tanks coming up, and now it's time for the base crawl on yellow's base. And these Tesla are going to be really effective against the light tanks. We can also see an MCV there for some... Yeah, I don't know if they were building an extra MCV or they've just undeployed it. Anyway, we're going to get rid of that. And we're just going to build a little bit of a Tesla wall here against yellow. And we'll be able to destroy the ore trucks and anything that tries to pass, really. And I think this number of Tesla coil, as long as I get my power back online, is going to be quite effective if those light tanks do go for the charge, because they do have low HP. So we'll put some of those Tesla a little bit further forwards now. And yeah, that one's in range, but yeah, we'll just try and whittle them down, and you can see those Tesla pulling back. And what that means is I'm going to be able to get my flame towers out and start doing some destruction to those buildings. We'll get those war factories out. We'll have to see, is yellow going to try and respond, or they're going to try and pull back for the time being. They might have bases further back on the map. I did see the MCV there, so maybe they are expanding to other parts of the map, which are a little bit safer and a bit further away. But the ore is in the right side of the map from what I can see, although some of the ore patches may have regenerated elsewhere. Possibly. I don't have full map visibility because I'm playing as the Soviets. I did have spy playing though, but I haven't been using it as much as I could have. Because I haven't really needed to, because I've been known who I've been focusing on. And we can see some helicopters there in the top left. We're going to be able to take them out though, and we can see that yellow is selling up a little bit. And we're just pushing further and further forwards. Being able to destroy those light tanks. There's a few tanks scattered around, but they're not in great enough numbers. And we're just going to be able to push further and further forwards. And there's not really much that yellow can do in this situation. And yeah, there's a Tesla there. There is a couple of helicopters, and the helicopters are going on the offensive now. So we're going to have to sort of... yeah, they try to destroy some things, but there's not enough helicopters there really, and they've actually gone down to the ground, so we're going to be able to do some destruction here, get rid of some of them. So yeah, a lot of them on low HP as well, so that we managed to destroy quite a few there. And there's also cyan there in the bottom right. And you can see now it's pretty much over. All the yellow forces and his main base has been decimated. And This game actually did go on for a lot longer, but I will wind it on now because it is pretty much over. There's just like pop-up bases like in different parts of the map and trying to find MCVs and all that sort of stuff, but it was a pretty boring from this point onwards. So I will wind it on now, right to the end. So quite an eventful game. Obviously we had that massive army from green, and that's a real test, I guess, of the game. That green army, was that green army going to be able to destroy the whole base? But eventually we managed to whittle down the forces enough, and eventually the green army, they lost too much of their own base, they ran out of ore, and they weren't able to finish it off. So that was, and that was that. And that was the end of the game. The last structure destroyed from Cyan. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.